What's good, everyone? Coach D here with the shift method. Got an awesome YouTube video for y'all. We've talked about how to do the squat before. Now I'm gonna give you some of my top 3 tips to improve your squat right out the jump so you can lift more weight, be more consistent, have less aches and pains. So let's jump right into it. A couple quick announcements. Don't forget, you can always follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We got the new store out as well where y'all can cop your own merch. We got a bunch of new stuff, so be sure to check that out. But let's jump into this week's video. So my first tip is going to be called building the shelf. So when you squat, a really important thing that you want to do is create a lot of tension with the bar and its contact with your back. And in the words of Kevin Mullins, someone that I've had on the podcast before, it all starts with your hands. So you're gonna see here how you can build really good tension by having good hand placement and pulling the bar down into your back. Another cue that I've used before is, hey, pull your shoulders down and back, or imagine like you can bend the bar over your back and make it frown essentially. So let me show you what that looks like. So these first couple reps I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna be lazy with the bar. So here essentially I'm just gonna have my hands kind of loose, kind of relaxed. I don't have any shelving on my upper traps. And you can see the bar is kind of not consistent. It's going back and forth, which overall makes it very unstable. Versus here, where I actually set my hands properly, really build that shelf in my upper traps where you can see I have the bar placed, and now the bar is stable, it's not moving, and my reps can be consistent over time, and I'm very strong throughout the movement. Okay, so tip number 2 is gonna be your foot position. Now, everyone's anatomy is gonna be a little bit different, like I've explained before with squats, right? Some people are gonna like wider stances, some more narrow, some really turned out, some more straight. But in general, I find that most people benefit from having a slightly turned out foot, going somewhere between 15 to 30 degrees of external rotation. Generally speaking, your glutes help with external rotation, and so it's gonna be easier to utilize them in that position. And for getting good depth, just having your feet turned out slightly allows you to have more room between your femur and your pelvis, and so usually you can drop down to a bit of a deeper squat. Again, if you're someone who can keep your feet relatively straight, that's awesome and fine, but for most people, you're gonna find benefit moving your stance a little bit. So I'm gonna show you what that looks like here. So essentially what I tell people to do is first just get yourself under the bar and walk it out. Start with just a little bit of external rotation, right? So get your feet about shoulder width or a little bit further and turn them out just a little bit. Do a couple reps there and then play with it. Turn them out a little bit more, maybe a little bit further, until you get to a point where the squat feels most natural to you or where you feel like you can produce the most amount of force. You might also notice too that sometimes one foot might be turned out slightly more than the other, and that's okay as well. You'll notice in my squat, I actually have my left leg a little bit more in front and slightly more externally rotated due to range of motion limitations. It is okay, your feet do not need to be symmetrical here. You can kind of play around with it and find out what works best for you. And last but not least, and really this is a good cue for any lift, but I notice in particular with a few like the squat, is move the bar quickly. Yes, you want to be controlled, especially on the way down in your squat, but when you're coming out of the hole, man, imagine like you can jump through the ceiling, dude. I mean, like, go as fast as you can. And of course, if you're lifting heavy, the bar may not move very fast, but imagine that it could. So you're controlling on the way down, and you are exploding and driving as if you're trying to jump out of your shoes on the way up. I'll show you a couple what looks like slow, and then I'm gonna show you what it should look like if you're using kind of a moderate weight with some speed to it. And that's it, everyone. Another video in the books. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. Hey, just remember, YouTube and Spotify, like podcast style video every single week. Got that double content for you. We also got the store, and of course we got daily content on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Be sure to check it out. Coming to you from Johnny O's Gymnasium as always, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.